come out on top?
I think it might be a clean sweep for the Germans. And, you know, it's just because they've got the advantage. In their heads, they're thinking, yeah, we're already 2-0 up. I think we can win this one. But, you know, the plucky Brit may come around and they might win a round. You never know.
Keep in mind, Team Stone Mountain versus Team Neebs.
Yeah.
Team Stone Mountain looking fantastic.
Neebs just needs to, you know, they need to pull it out of the bag. They need to get that win on the scoreboard.
Dare I say, he's got to pull a Stone Mountain, get the troops in line.
Yep.
Get everyone ready. You know, believe in. You know, advance to the objective. PTO, push the objective. Get the points on the board. Now it's time. I just heard someone just yell.
Was that in the game or was that here?
No, I'm almost certain that was someone in the crowd. I think it was AC Bongos actually yelled out loud. He has a very bellowing yell, you know, just sound like real
very
Sparta,
commanding voice.
Yeah, real 300-ish. Here we go, folks. Into the gameplay. We're going to see some rifle gameplay now.
Just look at the scope. Look how beautiful the weapon looks. It's one of those things I like to play with a sniper rifle quite a lot. It's a real, like, it's a role where, like, if you get the kill, you feel like you really deserve it. And now when you look at those weapons, you think, wow, that's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, the detail.
Talking about detail. Look at that explosion.
And you see right there the ground deformation that happened when that tank blew up. It sent, you know, obviously just shaped the ground underneath.
Oh, no! Bayonet charge!
Oh, no!
Got him! Got him!
Oh, Jesse Wellens, you poor thing. I'm so sorry.
That was really cool to see, though.
But that was so entertaining.
But what we were talking about is that the bayonet charge is like more than a sprint. You're going into a mad rage, like you're going to take this player down. And right there, I think that's the first. Oh, are we going for another one?
No, never mind.
Oh, I didn't quite get there.
Nah.
Oh. Well, then you can see, right, it's a trade-off, isn't it? If you're going to push yourself, if you're going to go for that bayonet charge, you can't do anything else once you've committed. So there's a chance you could get taken out. I mean, he runs up to the window, he tries to kill the guy gets away, and, well, then, obviously, you need to pay the price.
Yeah, no matter, like, what terrain, you know, like if you hit a wall, right, essentially is what I'm trying to get. If you hit a wall, you're stopped right in your tracks. There's nothing you can do. You slow down, you can't sprint again, you can't do anything. I believe you could still shoot your gun, though. I think you can still do that. You can still make sure that happens to defend yourself. But any kind of mobility, though, becomes, you know, severely limited, which of course is an issue if you're in the thick of things. If you're right in the heart of the battlefield and you go in for the charge, you can pay the price if you don't get that one.
And obviously, if you're going for the bayonet charge, you're focusing on that player, so you might forget that you can still fire your way, maybe get yourself out of the situation, but you're going for that player, so you're intent on getting them, and sometimes you just forget those things.
Yeah, very true. You know, we covered a lot of elements in the game here, and I know that, you know, the community, I'm sure, has a lot of questions about what you can and cannot do. I believe some weapons also have different firing options as well.
I believe so. I think
there's like a couple that I played. There was one that could do single shot, one that could do automatic fire. So there's some of the weapons, you know, mechanics that you guys are familiar with in other Battlefield games, you know, are certainly there for you to be able to switch out the weaponry and or switch out the style of play, right? Whether you want to go for a more steady shot or you know,
maybe you want a little bit more ammunition, things like that. So
get in the fray.
Yep, get in there. These are some great cinematic shots. They are really good. They show off the environment really well. And obviously, you can see this bit here looking like pristine countryside. I mean, yeah, we've got a little bit of destruction down here at the bottom.
A little bit. That's quite a bit of destruction, man.
But you know, I mean, like it was pristine when we started, and you can bet your life that it's been completely leveled by the end of the round. So.
Oh boy. Well, here's Stone Mountain trying his best here.
We're in the. This is one of the actual ruined villages. This is part of the map, already ruined as it goes along. And as you go to the other side, you've got the pristine countryside. So there's a nice variation on the same map, but you can always make the pristine countryside completely flat if you want to.
Yeah, it's just good visualization, right? You know that I'm in this particular portion of the map because it looks, you know, untouched by you know, the unfortunate.
Here's the destruction we talked about. People using this crater here as a little bit of cover. You see they drop right down, and you can take cover here behind the wall and then pop up if you want to. But those explosions allow you to change the environment a little bit more.
And right from above here. Also, a couple other things too. there are certain structures that you can actually level completely, and it will create a crater underneath as well. So for people who may be concerned about, like, you know, maybe a building completely flatlined and there's no cover, there's opportunity for that because of the ground deformation as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, if you think about it this way, the floorboards sort of crumble in on themselves and there's a bit of space underneath them. So if you crouch down, then there's still that tiny bit of wall that's been left behind, and you're still able to take a bit of cover there. So you might be out in the middle of nowhere with people firing down on you, but you've got the opportunity to take some cover and maybe give yourself a little bit more of a fighting chance.
Oh, he just jumped out of that airplane.
He bailed.
So fast. He was not having any of that. But here we go now as Team Stone Mountain trying to push forward, but here comes a tank here, and they're going to get a huge hit on that tank, and the tank goes down. Big plays there for Stone Mountain and his crew, completely decimating that war machine. Good work there from them.
Well, I mean, like, you saw the power of the anti-tank grenade there. I mean, it looks like a small object in your hand, but it's sure got a big explosion when it goes off. And multiple ones of those are easily going to be able to take down one of those land ships.
Oh yeah, they're just deadly. But you know, I think a lot of people always ask the questions. Well, you know, how do I defend myself against tanks? So there you saw it right there. Work with your team, which is what Battlefield's all about, and you will be able to overcome those odds, even if you're just you know, just a small infantryman.
Yeah, I mean, there was a great shot there that we just went past that showed, like, the mudlands in between this amazing sort of countryside, and we've got what's already been destroyed. So it was a really nice shot, that one.
Just, you can look at so many portions of the map and just be blown away each and every time. And friendly airship has been deployed for the German Empire. So the United Kingdom coming back here, Wes. You said it was going to be a sweep, man. I always believe.
I didn't believe.
You did not believe.
Well, maybe they're being plucky. Maybe they're going to come back for the win. You know, we can't let the Germans get all 3 games. So maybe they've got the knowledge. Maybe they got the power to finish the job.
Oh, nice play there. Picks up one, but couldn't find the second pickup. That's unfortunate as we go into free cam mode to see the lay of the land. And there's a dogfight happening over by the fields there. Over here, we're going to see what the current objective is for this squad. Seems like they don't have much of an objective here at this time.
That's never good, is it?
No, squad leaders need to direct you know, the flow of combat.
Well, that's part of what you were saying. I mean, the team play is really important. We saw that tank getting taken down. We're seeing the capturing of a flag right here. They've just taken back the townhouse. You know, that's turning the tide a little bit back towards the German Empire, who now have control of more of those conquest flags.
Yeah, and with the airship coming in favor of the German Empire.
Could they turn it around?
They could certainly turn it around here, Westy. I would be very surprised if the UK squad will be able to stop this. If this airship is properly utilized, because, and just look at the shots raining down. Those are just hefty rounds there that are just causing destruction on anyone. And a melee kill happens just there.
One thing that we have to think about with the airship is that if you've got a lot of planes in the sky, you could all work together, take that thing down as quick as possible and stop an assault from the enemy, because obviously they're coming from behind. And now if you look at it, I believe the German Empire are now in the lead.
And there you can see a shot of the gondolas that house those heavy machine guns. We saw just how hefty those rounds looked. Certainly is something to keep in mind, as you want to focus fire on that so that you can prevent anyone from, you know, causing too much of a problem here. And there's that anti-tank grenade.
Here we go. Can he get a shot on him?
That's going to be a big one. Does he get the hit?
No, the tank pulled away. The tank pulled. Although, hang on a minute.
Nice.
Look at the power. That's insane, isn't it? That's absolutely incredible. I think he might have run out of anti-tank grenades, though, which is why he's running away. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Vardock is going to get that pick. And there goes the tank.
That was a nice takedown. Oh, we got some sniping action here. Can he take him? Can he take him?
You want to take into account the bullet drop that happens over this. Oh goodness gracious! That was great shots there, or great angles with our camera shots, whatever you want to call it. That just looked cool.
That did look really cool. He's definitely got somebody on his tail, though. You can see the bullets going past. Back with the sniping.
Okay.
Oh, he's trying to lead the shot a little bit, which is actually the smart thing to do. You might get the kill, but he missed out on the drop down there.
And the thing, sniping in this game is, you know, it's a challenge. It is, you know, it's going to take a lot of getting used to here. But here you see, he knows that this spot is currently being taken over, and I don't know if that's his teammates.
I think we might need to. Well, he's got to try and find where the enemy player is. I mean, you can see on the mini-map, you might just be able to see that. And, it's a tank.
It's a tank.
he might have a bit of trouble taking that down with a sniper rifle.
I think he realized that too. He's like, you know, I'm just going to go back and continue sniping. I'm not going to worry about the tank. You guys deal with that. I got no time for this. All right.
Oh, there you go. That's the ground underneath the building there, so you can still use it as a little bit of cover. It's not fully destroyed yet, but there is a chance that could happen during the game.
And especially how Doom was entering that doorway there, you know, had it not been as frantic, potentially the person that he had eliminated would have been able to use the coverage and get a better angle on him and pick him off. So Pony's been left hanging. Or free phones.
Yeah, we got the high five.
We got the high fives,
as long as it happens. You know.
Yeah, I know, because then it's that moment that's if. And it lives forever, and he'll never be able to live it down. So we averted a crisis there, folks.
Back on board with the sniper. It seems like the team actually, no, yeah, the team took back the windmill. So carry on sniping to his heart's content.
I don't think he's hit a living soul,
which is unfortunate.
You know, it's like at first, if you don't succeed, try again. Unless you're that guy, just give it a stop. You know, just for the time being. Move closer, maybe. You know, like
what you might notice, obviously, all these conquest flags are relatively, they're all sort of spaced out perfectly. And oh yes, actually, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we were brought up before on this, and I did want to talk about a different kind of weather conditions. We saw rain, we saw sun. Now we're starting to see the fog set in, and the fog can be quite brutal. Wes, you have experiences with that too, right?
Yeah, I definitely have. And I mean, obviously we were looking at a map that was giving all different types of gameplay. So you had the close quarters, you had medium range and long range for sniping. Now, if you're a sniper at the top of that windmill over there, there's not a chance in hell that you're going to be able to see what's going on down in the town. So you're going to have to come out, potentially use your pistol, or maybe even swap to another class when you respawn to try and win the battle, because, well, the weather's not going to let you snipe anymore.
And keep in mind, too, you know, that this is going to affect the airship. It's going to also affect any planes that are in the air. They won't be able to tell where the infantry are moving. They are covered, essentially, by Mother Nature herself. So now...
We haven't got long left. We've only got a couple of... Oh!
There goes
Zeppelin's coming down this time.
There goes the airship. It's going to fall down, and this is not looking good. Where it's going to land is the question, and how it's going to affect the battlefield is also something of note here. But overall, though, you know, that stop there with the from the German Empire's airship, that was huge, because it could have gone out of control, and the United Kingdom may have not been able to hold these points.
We've got a minute and a half left of the game, and there's only about 15 points in it. So the Germans managed to pull themselves in front, but there's still a chance that the British could bring this round in the last minute of the game, especially with the air.
Oh! Bull Shark.
That was brutal.
Bull Shark is brutal, man. He's not anyone's friend.
Well, if you look at it now, the British are in the lead, 145 to 128. They've turned it round.
Indeed they have, but they are going to be losing point A, and it seems like they might. D is being contested here. White boy can't stand a chance against Doom as he comes around the corner.
Yeah,
and
it looks
over
as
to the townhouse. Here we go. Maybe the blue team can get this point here. This is going to be point D that was currently being contested, and they're fighting over townhouse at this moment. A lot of bodies on this point, on this flag. They should be able to get control of it.
Well, let's hope so, because if the British do manage to pull off a win, it ends up 2-1. But, you know, you couldn't let go with a 3-0 landslide.
You just can't let the sweep happen, man. You know, I mean... you want to go out with some dignity.
Definitely. You could win the third round, you know, that's consolation.
Yeah.
Perhaps the tactics weren't there in the first 2 rounds. Maybe we call them warm-up matches.
Yeah, right. Those last 2 rounds didn't count. This one is the one that matters because we won. With only 14 seconds left. Oh, what a shot.
Neebs going down there.
He's so happy. That was Stone Mountain to Neebs, if I'm correct.
Was it?
I believe that was Stone Mountain to Neebs. That is awesome.
Well, maybe it's like, well, we'll let you win this one, but do you know what? I'm going to take you out anyway. And there we go.
Well, there you have it, folks. Congratulations to all the competitors. Big thank you to everyone who watched here in the arena here at EA Play, and also for those of you guys watching online. That was cool. That was some cool stuff, man.
That was really good. And especially, that's the first time that the public have got to see that gameplay. All these people in the room have now played it. I've had the opportunity to play it already. And now everybody gets to see what Battlefield 1 is like. And, well, I hope you enjoyed it.
It was awesome. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in, to people who watched the EA press conference, to those of you guys who watch Battlefield Squads. But here's good news, folks. We got plenty more coming at you in just a little bit. We have the post-show coverage where we're going to be talking about Titanfall. We're going to be talking about Madden and FIFA and all the other things that are here at EA Play. It's some pretty awesome stuff. That's going to be kicking off in just a little bit. That will be hosted by the one and only Fubar, Jose Sanchez, and myself. But there you can see everyone shaking hands, feeling good about what they
We're all friends in the end, aren't we?
Oh yeah, you know, all's fair in love and war.
Definitely.
It was great, and that was the first time that we've ever seen Battlefield gameplay. It was certainly quite an experience, even for myself as a commentator, because you know there's a lot of new things here, right? And as we continue to dive deep into what Battlefield 1 offers, I'm almost certain that we will look back on it, and there are just so many things that we probably missed because of just how deep this game is.
It's one of those things where we only got to see one map today and one game mode. There's so much more out there that we're still yet to see, and I think that's really important for those people out there because they've now seen this game for the first time. They're going to want to know what's coming next. What more can I see about Battlefield 1? And there is still plenty more to come.
Yeah, there's also going to be a lot of awesomeness going down over here in EA Play as we have people lining up, getting ready to game, play some Battlefield, play some Titanfall, whatever you want to play, FIFA, Madden, NHL, so on and so forth. But I believe we have AC Bongos down on the floor with our winners. AC, what's going on, my man?
Hey, thank you, Westy, and thank you, Golden Boy. Golden Boy, that jacket, mate, that is fire. Good work. And Westy, well done doing it for Britain. Airfist, good stuff. I'm joined here by the team captains. I've got Neebs and I've got Stone Mountain. I think first of all we'll say congrats to Stone Mountain. How do you feel?
Excellent, man. You know, I've been a commanding officer for a couple years on the battlefield. Had a couple good operations back in Operation Firestorm. You guys probably heard of that one. Yeah. But back in 2013, Battlefield 3, I'm hardcore, no. But good game. Great playing with all these guys and Neebs in particular. We got you, man.
That's right. Now, I know there's been a lot of trash talk between you two before today. How did it feel to actually get out there on the battlefield? The very first multiplayer gameplay of Battlefield 1. How did it feel?
It was great. I mean, the game is awesome. I got to be a taxi driver for Jamie Foxx and Zac Efron for a whole match.
Nice.
I got to kill this guy at least once.
I got you back.
Okay, so technically we're tied. Technically we're tied. But love it. I didn't learn about the gas mask until 3 minutes before that last match ended. So apparently you have to put a gas mask on.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
I think that's quite a big deal in Battlefield 1, right? Now, you are very well known for your call-outs, for your communication. Did that make a difference for you today?
Yeah, I was trying to really command the squad whenever we won a game, shout it out to them, and definitely I'd say it helped out, but I might be biased.
Were they listening, or?
Yeah, they were helping out. I was working with Snoop as well, trying to guide him. He had a tank rolling on the gunner as well. It was pretty beast.
All right. Neebs, you're playing with a lot of players you probably haven't played with before, right? I mean, you're right next to Jamie Foxx here. Who really stood out for you from the celebs that you're playing with today?
The celebs, Jamie was needed a little work. He was warming up towards the end, but I don't think he's a natural just yet.
He's probably still around, so we can have a word with him afterwards, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, in the back of the gun, once I got him there, he started getting comfortable. But yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't. Doom 49 kept killing me. He's picking, and Anderzel, they were out for me.
And you had my friend Major Nelson on your team. How did he do? Did he represent for Xbox?
Man, I was so confused with all these lights and things going on. It was hard for me to keep up with who was killing me. But I know for sure Doom and Anderzel, bullies.
All right. Well, Stone, your team took it. Who was MVP on your team for you?
To what he was saying, I think Doom 49, he was rolling in that light tank, heavy tank, destroying. But we had a lot of good people. The thing is, when I'm heated in the battle, it's hard to keep up with what everybody's doing. I'm kind of focusing on my squad. So I'd have to look back at the footage, really analyze my squad's work.
Yeah. All right. Well, you've got plenty of time for that. Now, it's the first time anyone's been able to get hands-on with Battlefield 1 multiplayer. Like, tell us how it really feels. Like, how would you communicate how the game feels to your audience and to everyone watching?
It feels good. It feels gritty, and like it feels tight. When you pull a gun out, I mean, it feels heavy. It feels like it's doing damage. Tanks are mean. Tanks are great.
Yeah, there's a kind of brutality to the weapons in this game, right? Do you feel that when you're playing it?
Definitely. And even what you notice, like the rain coming down on the weapons and the brutality, the Zeppelin that's overhead, that thing's pretty bad. And when that thing comes down, the destruction, the graphics, it's intense.
And tell me about the interplay between the different vehicles. Does it feel kind of like what you're used to in Battlefield, or is there new dynamics to the way those vehicles work with each other?
I personally think it's very different. I mean, like, one of the tanks has a driver that has a heavy gun, and then you got two cannons on each side. So to me, that's great because you can have your squad in there and you can be communicating, turning your tank to one side and let him fire on the other guy. So and then the animation getting in adds a lot of fun to it. So.
Did you get up into the air, Stone Mountain?
I didn't in this game, but those air vehicles, the fighter, getting somebody in the back as that turret, that's where team play can really come in handy. And same thing with the tanks. It can get brutal.
All right, so how about some tips for people when they get their hands on Battlefield 1? And don't forget, you'll be able to play it first on Xbox One exclusively with EA Access. When people get their hands on it, what do they need to start thinking about? Do they need to change their outlook on Battlefield?
A lot of your Battlefield strategies from the past will work. If you see gas, put your mask on. That's something I didn't do. And yeah, I mean, it's team play, so work with your squad.
Yeah. So that working as squads, communication, knowing your role within the team, that's still a big deal for Battlefield, right?
Yeah, I mean, watch out for me if you're on the battlefield. But besides that, yeah, squad play is hands down going to be your thing. The air vehicles, being able to ride shotgun inside the vehicle, have 2-3 people in those bombers, that's what's key. Working as the squad overall, that's definitely my go-to tip.
Yeah. If this one parachutes in next to you and starts talking to you, then yeah, you're in...
You might want to mute me. You might want to mute me because I'm going to be yelling at you.
Yeah, you're in trouble. Tell me about some of the YouTubers you had on your team as well. You had some pretty good talent on your squad here.
And we had a lot more, but someone stole them yesterday. Yeah, I don't know if you heard about that.
It's like, what's happening here? Is it dodgy transfer situations, was it?
I worked very hard to build my team, and then Stone started stealing my teammates. Doom was originally on my team. Anderzel took them, man.
So how did you swing this then? Is this, mind games? What's going on?
It was some hard negotiations and some good work, but we managed to get level cap as well from them. Good asset, breaking up the squads with Jack Frags and all those guys. Managed to at least get level cap, and that definitely helped our squad out as well.
You had a couple of British players on your team, right? Did they make a difference for you? Jack? I mean, we know Jack's an amazing Battlefield player.
Jack's a good player. I think he was on your team, though, Neebs. Yeah, but we had a lot of foreign guys on our team, relative to U.S., I guess, but no, they're excellent players as well. Communication's a little bit more difficult with the Spanish-talking people, but,
Did you resort to hand signals? I mean, what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, I was flailing my arms around a bit. But,
All right, good. So tell me about some of the highlights from the matches for you. What are some of the key moments for you?
Probably, I hope it was shown, because there was a moment when Stone Mountain rolls up and when there's mini tanks, and it's just me and my anti-tank gun, so I drop down and shoot him. Do you remember that moment?
I do remember it. I was in my tank. I was like, who is shooting me? And then Neebs kills me, and he's jumping around, and it was super disheartening. But that's when I got you back shortly later. I came back to that same spot, rolled up in a tank, another tank. You were in one at that time, and I got you back.
Yeah, it's even.
No, one of the amazing things is, I mean, these big airships coming in. Yeah. What difference did that make to the matches, and how do you need to leverage that airship when it comes in?
Well, I think you have to get used to the airship. I'm a little lost on it yet. Because when I get in, I'm driving. I'm just like, wow, I'm driving. I'm not really thinking about dropping bombs yet. It's because it's so new. But it's a game changer if you know how to use it. You got to steer it in the right areas, give your gunners a clear shot at the objective. So it could turn the game around for you.
Destruction, we know, is like a really key part of the Battlefield experience. It looks better than ever in Battlefield 1, right? Did you see that? Did that play into your tactics, is destruction in the Battlefield?
Yeah, I mean, the destruction overall, and even going back to that Zeppelin, when that thing comes in halfway through and it is dropping bombs down, it can completely level windmills, buildings, and if they still have that thing up, you got to focus it down quickly. And if Neebs is piloting, maybe you're not as dangerous, but...
One of the other highlights we saw as well is this bayonet charge. Were you on the end of any of them? Did you see any of them?
Well, I have a special use for the bayonet charge. People shoot at me a lot. I bayonet charge to get away from people. You run faster, it's a great escape strategy.
Yeah. You're bayoneting the other way.
Yeah, towards cover. Towards cover.
That sounds like quite good. Any other, cowardly tactics like that yourself?
I mean, that's a good tip, man. That's a good tip. I didn't even think of that. Just stay down, stay out of the way of tanks, and blow them up. Go after the vehicles, go after those air vehicles whenever they come at you.
Those anti-tank grenade stacks, pretty impressive as well, right?
They're awesome looking. You've got this stick with all these grenades attached right to it. Chuck it at the tanks, and then you've got this bipod missile launcher you can drop out, and it's effective at taking them out. It's just a matter of shooting them. Same thing with even your regular rifles do extremely strong work to the actual air vehicles. You shoot those wings, it actually does a good amount of damage to them. So if they're flying overhead and you manage to get a couple of shots onto the air vehicle's wings, it'll take it out, and then it becomes more difficult to pilot. I'm sure those guys were talking about it up top, but...
Amazing. Sorry, we just did a little shimmy over there. I don't know if you noticed. It was very seamless. But this is the thing, right? Some of there's these new weapons that were new in World War I, but the technology isn't what we know it now, right? So you're still dealing with some pretty rickety vehicles, and that changes things, right?
I mean, a little bit. I think the tanks are a little slower, but I don't know the name of all the vehicles yet, but like those trucks, man, you can get around quick, and you got a gun on top of that. They feel good. They don't feel like they're, obsolete. They feel like powerful weapons. Okay. And I like them.
What was the best weapon you used during the games there?
I think the land ship is that the big tank with the treads, and that's my favorite. Well, the small tank is really good. You were using that one.
That small. The small light tank was really strong. Heavy. That was the land ship you were talking about. That thing's powerful. In terms of weapons, I really like the SMGs. Super fast fire rate. They could really tear people apart. And to your point, I mean, it looks like it's old, but you really feel powerful. And when you have the headphones on, those explosions are going off, you're shooting the sound effects, it's really heavy, man, and it feels good.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations to you, Stone Mountain. I'd give you an award, a trophy, but I've got nothing, mate. So just pride, okay? Take that away with you. You'll always have that. Thanks, gents. I really appreciate it. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here representing Xbox and supporting Battlefield 1, the very first live gameplay of Battlefield 1. And don't forget, you'll be able to play it first exclusively on Xbox One with EA Access. We are signing off. It is just the start of E3 week, and it's been a pleasure. So thank you for joining us, gents. Thank you, and we're out. See you later.